I'm so excited to bring you Biz Dev Live with Cameron T today. Gonna get right into what we're going to talk about. So being persuasive, I want to hit on one, what you shouldn't do when you're trying to be persuasive, and two, what you should do when you're trying to be persuasive, whether that's in a business meeting, networking, pitch. We're going to get into it, to jump right into the Biz Dev theme, and I will be right back with you. Hang on for me. Looking forward to get into today's topic.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T.
So how do we influence people? How do we persuade folks? Listen, don't make the gaffes. I think, when we look at politics, it's a great example of what can turn us off right away. So often when somebody is selling us on something, it's not what they say so much to sell us that we have a problem with. It's all the extra stuff, or the fact that they're being too salesy. Tell me what I want to know that's interesting. Tell me about the product. Make it about me, not about yourself. What are some of the things, right? So as I'm coming into a business meeting, you don't want to be a person that's unapologetic for everything, but you want to be careful with your apologies. I especially notice this. I'll pick on my women in the audience, my insecure men and women. Be secure with yourself. If you're late for a good reason, let's assume that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't waste my time twice by being late and then overly apologizing it. If you are going to apologize, move on. Let's not bring it up multiple times. I found myself in that space. I've definitely heard a lot of other people apologize again for something. Don't bring up the negatives. Put the best foot forward, right? So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you should do in terms of your talking points and persuading other people that you don't want to do. So lead with your best foot. Don't bring up the negative aspects. People can find that stuff on their own. They may be thinking of that on their own. You're there to sell. The person that is listening to you probably wants to hear the positive aspects. That's not being untruthful. It's not avoiding the truth altogether. It's saying these are the best aspects of the software, of the service, of the product that I'm offering. Tell me about what it's good. Tell me why I want to buy. I understand there's other products on the market. I understand there's something I may already be using. Why should I buy your product? So really don't talk about the negative aspects. Those aspects are going to be in a person's mind. They can come up, in terms of advice. Sell the positive aspects. Why does your product or service really benefit the person that you're talking to, or the audience that you're talking to? Don't bring up the negative. Don't bring up the fact that you have competition. Don't bring up, if that question comes up, be really ready with a great answer. But lead with your best foot. Don't bring up negative stuff. Don't make apologies that you don't need to make. Understand the difference there. An apology that you do need to make because there's something that is amiss or you didn't deliver on something. Yeah, you need to, I would say, make up for it rather than apologize. So maybe there's something free that you can offer. Maybe there's a thing that you can throw in, and having something like that ready to go when the inevitable happens is probably a really great idea. Jump into that. Make sure that you have that ability to offer something when a challenge does arise. With every business, a challenge will arise. All right, so let's talk about the things that you should do, right? And talking about what you shouldn't do, you obviously want to lead with your best foot. That's your presentation, your speech, being prepared, all that good stuff, right? You don't want to not do that stuff. What should you do for your pitch, for your presentation, to be persuasive, to make sure the audience that you're talking to really enjoys what you're talking about? Practice, prepare, make sure that you have studied your audience and bring as much clarity to your talk, to your discussion, that you know your audience, that you understand what they need, what is particular to them. So oftentimes I'll see a speaker or a presenter, whether it's somebody that's doing a sales presentation or an education presentation, and they just really haven't tailored their presentation to the people in the room. That's a really big faux pas in today's environment, especially if you're a speaker or presenter and you're trying to engage a room in front of you. Surefire thing to say, hey, this is something I should have seen on YouTube. I shouldn't be tuning into live, is to be in something that really isn't engaging me directly. Make sure that you are able to engage on what the people that are listening to are interested in. If you're selling something, right, having those talking points lined up, ready to go to talk to the people that you're talking to. I have folks on here. You may be a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, a small business, somebody that maybe isn't even thinking about business, their own business yet, because they're working for a corporation. Let me tell you, when you are ready to make that jump to the next customer, from idea to initiation, have those talking points ready. Whether you're talking to your staff, whether you're talking to a potential customer, know your audience, know how to engage with them. You'll have a better meeting. You'll have a better experience. You'll feel better. You'll be more persuasive because you'll be more in the moment, because you're prepared for the audience in front of you. So be prepared. Make sure you practice, right? And make sure that you know how to connect. Those are all three different things, right? Preparation is, may have something to do with understanding how to connect, but being present in that moment, walking into the room, learning the names of the people that are in the room, getting that connection, getting some of the personal stories, because you may know you're talking to, let's say you're a salesperson, you're coming to talk to insurance folks, right? And you're going to sell a product to insurance folks. You know the industry, but you don't necessarily know the people in the room. So even before you present, whether it's live or virtually, if it's virtually, it's a little bit more challenging to sort of walk around and shake hands, but you can do it, right? You can reach out. Hey, I want to talk to a few of the audience members, just get an understanding of who your folks are. Is there some folks that I can connect with? Typically an organization is going to be very excited to give you that access, right? So jump into that. Make sure that you understand who your audience is so you connect. You're preparing your presentation so that you have your talking points ready to go so you can speak really positively and really persuasively. How do you take something that maybe you don't think that your audience is necessarily into and persuade them, very much like debate team? Make sure you have your social proof examples, right? So your preparation and practice allows you to take your research and put it into practice, right? So I have this case study. This is something that provides this level of value. You have your infographic. You're able to put that up on a PowerPoint behind you. You're able to speak to it, and then you're able to follow through. So I've done my preparation, case study, right? Practice delivering that, making sure that when I say it, it sounds good, because there is a difference between something that's on paper and then actually saying it. You want to make sure you practice. So prepare, research, right, into your practice, actually delivering that, recording yourself, seeing what that looks like, and then that connection aspect. Okay, now I've prepared, I've practiced, now I come into the room and I can ad lib. when I get the question, I can bring people back to that, right? I know how to address the folks in the room. Oh, Larry, I understand you're asking this question. And the way that really engages and is meaningful for Sarah is XYZ, right? Having that ability to connect points, it's going to make you seem smarter. It's going to make your product or offering that more attractive because you're attached to it and you're able to answer all those questions. There may be a better product on the market, but I guarantee you there's not a better you. Do it. Create your talking points, preparation, practice, and then connect. You will be persuasive. You will be awesome. I hope that was helpful. Go and kick some butt. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D&C. Brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D&C. Brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D&C. Brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D&C. Brought to you by Cameron T.